Okay, so now you've created the basis of your fidget spinner. How can we make it more interesting? So if you have a look over here, this is the first thing we're going to do is add these nodules around the outside, some sort of grip to our fidget spinner. So first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to get rid of this fillet. So I'm going to come over and highlight this fillet, and then I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to delete it. There we go, we've got rid of it. So now I want to start a 2D sketch, and so by clicking on this, and then I want to click on this face here. It's going to bring it around to this shape here, and we're going to work on this shape here. You could rotate it using this button, these outside 2 diameter buttons. I sometimes prefer working in it, making it look around a symmetrical way, looking at the top. So I'm going to zoom in up to here, and the first button that we're going to press is this project geometry button. Okay, so we're going to click on this geometry button here. I'm going to click on this outside shape here, which is the area we're going to cut into. And then we'll click on this inner circle as well, just so we get the center of this circle here, although that might have popped up earlier. And we might need to click on some other buttons, but we'll see how we go. That's now drawn, that project geometry has drawn those shapes onto our sketch by just clicking on them. So the first thing we're going to do is come up to our circle tool. We're going to hover above, not on the line, but above the line. And we're going to click here, and we're going to sort of create this nodule, and I think about maybe 6 millimeters would be a good kind of start. See how it just kind of cutting into our shape there. Now we're going to set this at 6, and if I thought to myself, oh, I might want to change this later on, I could actually create this 6 as a parameter. So if I come up and click back on my FX button, you've got all these dimensions now which you've included earlier, but if you scroll down, you'll see the user parameters here, and we can just add a numeric, and we can call that, should we call it a nodule, a noodle, or who knows how you spell that, but let's go for this underscore and diameter. Okay, so nodule, I don't know, nodule, diameter, tab, and to make sure it millimeters over to here, and let's put that in as 6. And then I know I'm going to be able to change that later. Now I can double click on this 6 here, and I can come over and list my parameters and change that. There it is, noodle diameter, and click tick, and there it is. Now I want to set the distance perfectly away from here. So you know that this distance of this diameter here is 22. So the distance between the dot and here is going to be half of 22. It's going to be 11. You know the wall thickness here that you set was 4. So you know the distance from here, this dot, to here is going to be 11 plus 4. Okay, 15. So you could either write in 15 plus however far you want this distance to be. Okay, or you could use, let's say we want to drop it a millimeter away from that edge, or you could use your parameters. So firstly, click on the dimension tool and click on then the center of this circle and then the center of this circle here and come out. Now you can see we're on 17 there, so we're about 2 millimeters above. I just want to go 1 millimeter above. So I could tap here and tap in 16 because I've worked it out. Or if it's a more complicated than that, you could just come down to list your parameters. Let's find our bearing diameter. Now remember, it was not the diameter but the radius. So the first thing I have to do is put a space, a kind of slanted line like that, for divided by a space and then 2. So now I've got the kind of the bearing radius. I'm just going to put that inside brackets so to make sure that's nice and easy and held. And then we want to add on the wall thickness. So I'm going to put a space and put a plus, and then I'm going to click my line here, come down to my list parameters and find my wall thickness. There it is, wall thickness. Now that's going to bring me right up to this point here. So now I'm going to put a space and I'm going to add, and let's say this could be, put a space in there, 1. Okay, you could decide to put that as a parameter as well, but I'm just going to leave it and just put it as 1 and press return. Oh, and look at there, it's put it down at 16 and 1 millimeter above. Okay, that's our first thing that we're going to do. Now we want to create a pattern here for this to kind of go around, and a circular pattern at that. So I'm going to click on my circular tool, make sure that you don't click that, click it there so it's highlighted, click on my circle. I'm going to now click on my axis. This is going to be my axis, this circle here. It's put 6 in, I don't want 6, I want about 3. But I don't want them to go around 360 degrees. I want them to go around, say, 70 degrees. Okay, and there you go. You can see 3 are going this way, around about 70 degrees. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, but go the other way. So click on my circle there. Click on my axis here, like that. I'm going to change this to 3, and I'm going to change this to 70, but importantly this time, I'm going to click this button here to change it going the other way. You see now it's going the other way. I'm going to click OK. Then I can finish my sketch by pressing this button here. And now we're going to press our extrude button. Now extrude can add material, as you can see when you hover over these, you click on each one. Oh, I did that wrong. So you can either hold down Control and click back on that circle to take it away. And it's kind of jumped to this one here. And those are the ones I want. So don't hold it on the circle, hold it on carefully until you find that part highlighted and that part there highlighted, that part there. And let's say I get this one wrong. Oops, I got it wrong. So I'm just going to hold down Control and hover over the bit I did click, and then I can now come back over. That takes it away. Click on this bit. Now it can add material, but what we want to do here is take it away. So you have to come now down to this area here, and this is the output area. And instead of adding the material, we're going to press this button here, which cuts it away. And we're going to sort of come over, and this parameter is already, if I sort of open this up, it's been linked to the bearing thickness. That's the thickness we've already done here. So it already knows that I want it to go down by 7 mil. You could also click this button, which would say through all. Okay, so I'm going to leave that and just click OK, like that. And there we go. It's now put this lovely little kind of nodule on. Now you know how to rotate this around and put a circular pattern tool to put it on the rest of this feature in a sketch, but we're going to look at how to do that in a in 3D. But before we do that, I want to put a bit of a maybe just if I bring it around to this way, I want to put a little bit of a fillet on these edges just to make them a little bit nicer. So I'm going to come up to my fillet button. It's set to 2, which feels about right. And I'm just going to click these lines like this. Again, if you accidentally select a line, you can always hold down the Control button. I'll just come around and click this button around here. You can always press the Control button and then select the line again, and it'll take it off. And there we go. Now that feels a little bit nicer, so I can click OK. Hit my home button to come back around here, and that looks good. Does it look good from the top? Yes, it does look good. Okay, so come back around. Now you can use the circular tool in 3D. So to see the pattern tools here as well. So the circular pattern tool, and again, it's asking me for this time a feature with it highlighted. Now you could come around and sort of try and hover over and select that bit. I'm going to come over here. I prefer to select the features here, what you've done. So I'm going to click on Extrusion 2, and I'm going to click on the Fillet as well. And then with those two highlighted, I'm going to come up, click this rotational axis button here, and then come and select the center part. Can you see it's trying to do 6? We're going to change that to 3. And it's now got 360, which is okay. And then we can click OK. And look, it's put that around the whole edge. The last thing we can do is put back on that fillet that we had set last time. So now you can come over, select the top area, and then maybe come around to the bottom and select the bottom shape as well, and click OK. And there we go. We've now got this kind of interesting shape going on. Okay.